Good afternoon, everyone. Francis Mahan once again from A Journey into the Mind. Can our thoughts influence our physiology, the way we look, how we appear, how we respond, our emotions, our feelings? Have you ever thought of a time when you had an unpleasant encounter or confronted someone in a moment that was difficult? It could be perhaps even the death of someone that you loved or someone close to you, separation, a divorce, anything of that nature that bring about memories whenever you face similar circumstances. What happens in the mind when we experience similar circumstances to those Engrams that have brought us pain, depression, sadness, and affected our physiology as well? The way we look, the way we feel and express ourselves in front of others. If you ever notice someone that is depressed, their physiology is very sad, they look down, they're not happy, or someone who is preoccupied, they have a lot in their mind and it shows in their face that they're not coherent, they're not in the moment, they're not present. Why is that? Why is it that this subconscious mind can control the way we feel, act, and think? How is it possible that something that is not a primordial essence of who we are, because our conscious mind is more who we are than our subconscious mind. We can say that our subconscious mind is what records everything that we experience, live, and feel and think. But the creator of that is the conscious mind. However, when we encounter a situation or when we experience something in the present moment, we tend to go back to that event and analyze it with something that happened before, something that brought us to a state of mind that was not stable, that was sad, that was unhappy, and at the same time was nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking because when you experience that, you can feel your heart beating. You can feel that moment that brings you to a downward spiral where you're not feeling happy, where that which happened has an effect on you physically, spiritually, emotionally, and subconsciously. How do we get out of a situation as such? How do we face something of that nature and let it go? Because if we don't, we will remain sad, depressed, and in a state of mind that is not conducive to being happy, because we're relating to Engrams of the past, things and events that happened that brought us to a state of mind where we are today. So to move away from that, we recognize that we have experienced similar feelings and emotions before. We recognize the situation as something that we're familiar with, something that we have lived in the past. Pardon me. And at the same time, something we do not wish to stay and experience in the moment. To avoid it will be to try to put a cap or cover it. We have to accept what it is, understand that we've been there, let it go, move on, maybe even move ourselves from the surrounding and environment that influenced that event to happen, and go on with our life. It is possible to take an event that happened that is unpleasant, that brings you sadness, that brings you to a moment that feels very, very uncomfortable inside, and say, I do not wish to be in this situation. Therefore, I'm removing myself from this situation and this condition so that I can move on with my life. Once we have experienced something of negative nature, of unpleasant nature, We know, we've been there, we know, we done that, and we know what to do. We have to release ourselves from that moment, from that experience, from those thoughts, from those memories, and go on with our life. It is the only way to move forward. Prolonging it is staying in the same state of mind and the same subconscious thinking, the same rewiring of the event previously happening to the event happening in the moment as well. For example, I can say that I have managed or been able to manage the ability to understand when I'm experiencing something of unpleasant nature that has negative emotions in my well-being, in my spiritual, my physicality as well, that is bringing me down, to remove myself from that which is causing me to feel and the senses and even the physical despair that I'm feeling at the moment. Once you learn and recognize how to move on from that, you will learn not only how to master similar situation, but every time anything of similar nature happens, you will know exactly what to do. And that is my message for today. You don't need to remain in a situation that brings you memories from the past that are unpleasant, that are sad, that are of feelings of sadness and despair, and stay there. You can remove from it and move forward. I thank you for listening. This is Francis Mahan once again from A Journey into the Mind. Have a wonderful afternoon. Goodbye.